My favorite thing ever, which I've yet to achieve, is I want to have a kid.
While many people weren't surprised by Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson's 9-month whirlwind affair, it did come as a surprise to some. The connection was cut off. What, however, actually transpired between Kim and Pete, and why was Kim criticized for exploiting Pete? Pete allegedly accused Kim of using him, but did he say anything? We are fully informed. You probably already know that Kim and Pete met on the set of Saturday Night Live, where they even had a comedy where they kissed on stage. In an interview with Not Skinny But Not Fat, Kim genuinely talked about kissing Pete on SNL.
And then when we kissed, I was just like, really haven't kissed anyone else in 10 years, so maybe I'm just like stupid. There is some BDE action and like...
Just after SNL, Kim and Pete started dating, and in the months that followed after they became official, it seemed like things were getting more serious. Pete eventually became close with Kim's children and even made a brief appearance on her Hulu series, The Kardashians. Since they started dating, Kim and Pete have each made an effort to travel from New York to Los Angeles to visit one another. However, it appears that it became too much. Some people found it surprising that they had split up because, according to their close friends, they were still infatuated with one another and sent love letters even though they were apart during the beginning of August 2022. When Pete was filming in Australia. A source even told US Weekly Kim and Pete are in constant communication. They send each other love notes while the other is sleeping and FaceTime whenever their schedules link up. Anyway, after 9 months of dating, a source confirmed to Page 6 that Kim and Pete decided to go their separate ways. The source said Pete is 28 and Kim is 41. They are just in very different places at the moment. Pete is totally spontaneous and impulsive, and wants her to fly to New York or whenever he is on a moment's notice. But Kim has 4 kids, and it isn't that easy. She needs to focus on the kids. The sources added that Kim has many obligations outside of becoming a mother, such as her lead role in The Kardashians on Hulu and her other businesses, including the freshly released Kim's brand. She appeared to be completely worn out as a result of the relationship and other events going on in her life. In addition to these factors, the source added that her ex-husband Kanye West was a major source of stress. He hasn't been as prominent lately, but we all remember when Kanye publicly expressed his dislike of the pairing for a time. The insider said when Kim is with someone else, Kanye can cause problems with the kids. He tries to divide and conquer. He can't help it. Kim is a really dedicated mother, and her kids will always come first. She wants and needs harmony at home and in her life.
But it's definitely like, damn, I can't really be posting like too sexy like pics on my Instagram anymore. So I'm like purging and I want to get it all out.
Obviously, the breakup caused quite a buzz on social media. And in response to the breakup, one person wrote on Twitter, "Not Kim and Pete together for exactly 9 months and announced breaking up the day the baby is born." And another person wrote, "For some reason, I'm genuinely shocked about Pete and Kim breaking up. Everything I learned about them as a couple was against my will, and yet somewhere deep inside I was 100% convinced they were in game." Of course, there are also those who said that the breakup was obviously coming. Like one person who wrote, "Why? All thought they were really about to have a baby together? Like what 41-year-old woman starts family number 2 with a 28-year-old, $1 billion less valuable than her husband? It was always a fantasy. Why? All were duped." In fact, some claim that weeks before the revelation, Kim had made a breakup hint. When she visited Pete in July in Australia, Kim posted on her Instagram stories, "Girls can see the difference between 200 shades of new lipstick, but they can't see red flag." She also shared another mysterious quote, which read, "Sometimes I wish I could go back in life, not to change things, just to feel a few things twice." On social media, several users expressed their sympathy for Pete, saying that Kim had abused him for 9 months without ceasing and had done so even after Pete made it apparent that he was prepared and eager to settle down. Regarding Kim's use of Pete, fans noted that, first of all, when Kim hosted The Kardashians in October 2021, she disclosed that she initiated contact with Pete after they starred in the skit together. She said, "So, this is how it went down with Pete. I did SNL, it was just a vibe. I called the producer at SNL and was like, 'Hey, do you have Pete's number?' And they were like, 'Yeah.' I texted him. I wasn't even thinking like, oh my god, I'm going to be in a relationship with him." They eventually started dating, and afterward, Kim's fans claimed that she dumped Pete and they were sorry because they thought Pete had been sincerely committed in the relationship. For instance, when Kim shared a collection of images on Instagram on July 11, Keen-eyed followers observed that Pete had gotten the names Jasmine and Aladdin, along with an infinity symbol, inked on his collarbone. Also inked on Pete's body were the letters KNSCP, which stood for Kim and her offspring North, Saint Chicago, and Psalm, along with Kim's name being branded on his breast. He also gets the words "My girl is a lawyer" written on his body. It's simple to explain that Pete often removes his tattoos following a breakup, but a branding when Kim informed Ellen on her show what the branding meant to Pete. Kim even discussed it.
I just think he was like, I want something that's there, that I can't get rid of my tattoos. So he's like, I don't want to be able to get rid of it. I just wanted it like there as like a scar.
Fans also said that Pete was completely manipulated by Kim, because on Heart to Heart, he stated that having children is his dream and made it very clear that he wants to settle down in the future.
Definitely a family guy. My favorite thing ever, which I've yet to achieve, is I want to have a kid.
Wow.
It's like my dream.
So, with regards to how Pete was serious and Kim was only using him, one person also pointed out, I hope he doesn't do anything rash because Kim used him to get Kanye jealous. Pete was looking for something good and serious. Kim, the Kardashians, were looking for Hulu ratings. They had little regard for Kanye's mental health, so they're not going to care if something happens to Pete. The follower was plainly making reference to how Kanye made dating Kim and Pete challenging. On the Drink Champs podcast, Kanye first insisted that Kim was still his wife, claiming that he had never even seen divorce papers. Then he addressed his connection with Kim once more on stage at the Los Angeles Mission's yearly Thanksgiving celebration. When Pete posted a screenshot of a TMZ article with the headline "Kanye West thinks God will bring him and Kim back together," inspires millions on his Instagram story, Kanye attacked Pete as well. The next thing that happened was Kanye mentioning Pete in his Easy song from January 2022. At the song's conclusion, Kanye verbally threatened Pete by mentioning his vehicle accident from 2002 and saying, "God save me from that crash, just so I can beat Pete Davidson's A." Not to mention the song video in which he buried Pete alive. Kanye also published a number of social media memes and postings that made it plain that he didn't want Pete around for himself or his kids. Social media users claimed that Kim kept dating Pete for months in order to enrage Kanye. And another person who agreed that Kim definitely used Pete wrote, "I'm going to speak bluntly. I think Kim is an opportunist who got what she wanted out of Kanye by being able to cash in on Black culture, being attached to him. And now that she wants to go mainstream again, use Pete as a way of stepping back into whiteness." Pete may still be processing the breakup of the relationship, but we'll keep a watch out for anything he says after the breakup. A keen ear for everything he says after the breakup. Thanks for watching our video. Make sure to subscribe our channel for more celeb videos. Don't forget to like and comment. Also share it with friends and family.